In the heart of the Valley of Mexico, long before the Aztecs claimed this land, a different power rose from the earth. The year is 450 AD, and the city of Teotihuacan stands as the beating heart of Mesoamerica. It is a place of total order, a geometric marvel carved into the volcanic landscape by hands alone. There were no horses here to pull the heavy stones, no oxen to drag the massive loads. The wheel was unknown to these people, yet they built giants. The sheer scale of their ambition defies modern logic, a testament to a society driven by collective will and spiritual necessity. Look upon the Pyramid of the Sun, rising like a red mountain against the blue sky. Its surface is not bare stone, but painted in vibrant ochre, gleaming under the intense highland sun. Every step was placed by human hands, every layer a prayer to the forces that govern the cosmos. The city is laid out with mathematical precision, aligned perfectly with the celestial movements above. The Street of the Dead cuts through the center, a long, straight avenue that seems to stretch into infinity, flanked by smaller platforms and temples. Water is the lifeblood of this desert oasis, flowing through engineered channels that weave beneath the streets. These aqueducts bring fresh water from the mountains, sustaining over 150,000 souls in the middle of an arid basin. Life here is not lived in isolated huts, but in massive apartment compounds, multi-family structures that house entire clans. These complexes are self-contained worlds with courtyards, kitchens, and shrines shared by the community. Inside these dwellings, the walls come alive with color. Frescoes depict jaguars prowling through green forests, their eyes wide and alert, painted with natural pigments that have survived centuries of dust and time. Coyots appear in the art as well, symbols of the wild earth tamed by the city's order. The artists used brushes made from hair and yucca fibers to create lines so fine they seem to breathe with life. The society operates on a rhythm of strict routine and shared labor. There is no evidence of a single king. Instead, councils of elders and priests seem to guide the populace toward common goals. Every citizen contributes to the great works, whether farming the chinampas in the wetlands or quarrying stone from the distant hills. It is a civilization where the individual merges into the glory of the whole. High above the city, the priests watch the night sky, tracking the erratic dance of Venus. This planet is not just a star to them. It is a deity of war and rain, dictating the timing of rituals and harvests. When Venus rises as the morning star, the city erupts in ceremony. Smoke from copal incense rises in thick columns, mingling with the morning mist that clings to the valley floor. The scent of burning pine and resin fills the air, masking the smell of the crowded streets. People dress in their finest cotton garments, adorned with jade beads and shells brought from the distant coasts. Trade routes connect Teotihuacan to the Gulf Coast and the Maya lowlands, bringing obsidian, cacao, and exotic feathers. Merchants from far lands walk these streets, awed by the city's grandeur and organization. Obsidian is the metal of this age, sharp enough to cut through bone and stone. Workshops line the avenues, where craftsmen chip away at the black glass, creating blades, mirrors, and sacrificial tools. The sound of stone on stone is constant, a rhythmic tapping that echoes through the neighborhoods. It is the sound of a city constantly building, maintaining, and expanding its dominion over the landscape. Yet, despite the order, there is an underlying tension, a pressure that builds within the rigid social structure. The demand for labor is endless, and the gods always require more. The Pyramid of the Moon stands at the northern end of the avenue, smaller but no less imposing than its southern sibling. It faces the mountains, acting as a gateway between the earthly realm and the divine. Here, rituals are performed to ensure the rains come and the crops grow. The stakes are high, for the survival of the city depends on the favor of the storm gods. Archaeologists have found layers of offerings buried beneath the pyramids, including greenstone figures and the remains of sacrificed animals. These were the foundations upon which the city's power was built. The architecture itself enforces the social hierarchy. with the elite living near the great avenues and the commoners further out in the periphery. Yet, even the poorest have access to the city's water and gods. Sanitation is surprisingly advanced, with drainage systems running beneath the floors of the apartments. Waste is managed efficiently, preventing the plagues that often ravaged other ancient urban centers. Children play in the courtyards, running between the columns painted with red and black designs. They learn the stories of the gods and the duties of their station from an early age. Education is communal, with elders teaching the young the skills needed for survival and the complex calendar systems. Knowledge is power, and here it is shared to maintain the cosmic balance. As the sun moves across the sky, the shadows of the pyramids shift, marking the passage of time. The city is a giant clock, synchronized with the heavens above. But time is relentless, and the resources of the valley are not infinite. The forests are cut back to fuel the kilns and warm the homes, altering the local climate. Soil exhaustion begins to set in after centuries of intensive farming. The very success of Teotihuacan sows the seeds of its eventual vulnerability to environmental change. The water systems, once a source of life, can become channels of disease if not meticulously maintained. The burden of upkeep falls on a population that may be growing restless. Signs of unrest begin to appear in the later layers of the city's history. Burnt murals and smashed idols suggest a violent upheaval, a rebellion against the old order. Perhaps the rigid hierarchy could no longer sustain the pressures of a changing world. The collective will that built the city may have fractured under the weight of drought and dissent. The once vibrant red paint begins to fade and peel, exposed to the elements without constant repair. The Great Avenue, once thronged with pilgrims, grows quiet. Trade routes shift, bypassing the great city for new centers of power emerging in the north and south. The flow of jade and feathers slows to a trickle, then stops. The final days of Teotihuacan are shrouded in mystery, a sudden collapse that leaves the great structures empty. Did fire consume the wooden roofs? Did invaders breach the walls? We walk through the ruins today, tracing the outlines of the ancient apartments. The silence is profound, broken only by the wind whistling through the stone steps. The jaguars on the walls stare out with unblinking eyes, witnessing the rise and fall of the civilization that created them. They remain vibrant while the people turn to dust. The legacy of Teotihuacan endured long after its fall, influencing the Aztecs who found the city abandoned and named it the place of the gods. They could not believe humans built it. Indeed, the scale of achievement without the wheel or draft animals remains a puzzle. It challenges our understanding of what human societies can accomplish through unity. The geometric precision of the layout speaks of a mindset obsessed with order, a desire to impose structure on the chaotic natural world. It is a monument to human will. Today, the pyramids stand as silent sentinels, watching over the sprawling modern metropolis of Mexico City. The contrast between the ancient and the modern is stark. Yet, the spirit of the place remains. The energy of the valley has not diminished, though the players have changed. The cycles of Venus still govern the nights. We must remember that this was a real place, lived in by real people who loved, worked, and dreamed. Their lives were as complex and vivid as our own. The red paint may be gone, but the memory of its brilliance lingers in the archaeological record. Each fragment tells a story of a society that reached for the stars. In the end, Teotihuacan teaches us that even the greatest cities are not immune to time. Order can turn to chaos, and glory can fade into memory. But the achievements of the human spirit, captured in stone and paint, can outlast empires. The city of gods remains, a testament to what we can build together. As we leave the valley, the image of the red pyramids lingers in our minds, a reminder of a time when humanity moved mountains without machines. The story of Teotihuacan is far from over. It is being rewritten with every new discovery. The earth still holds secrets beneath the dust of the avenue. What other mysteries lie buried under the feet of millions in modern Mexico? The past is always closer than we think, waiting to be uncovered. The legacy of the builders lives on in the culture of the region, a deep respect for the land and the cosmos. Their wisdom echoes through the ages. From the heights of the Pyramid of the Sun, one can imagine the city as it was, a sea of white walls and red accents, buzzing with life. It was a beacon of civilization in an ancient world, a place where the divine and the mundane met on the steps of the great temples. And though the voices of the priests are silent, the wind still sings through the stone, carrying the whispers of the past to those who listen. Teotihuacan, the city of gods, the city of men, the city of mystery. Its story is a mirror reflecting our own potential and our own fragility. We stand on the shoulders of giants, looking back at a time when the world was different, yet fundamentally the same. The human heart has not changed. So let us honor the builders of Teotihuacan, not just for their stones, but for their vision. A vision of a city united under the stars. The journey through time ends here, but the questions remain. How will our own cities be remembered thousands of years from now? Will our structures stand as monuments to our unity, or as warnings of our excess? The choice, like the stones, is ours to make. The sun sets over the valley once more, casting long shadows over the ancient ruins. The cycle continues, as it has for millennia. Teotihuacan sleeps, but it does not forget. And neither should we. The city of gods waits for us to understand its true message. In the silence of the stones, we hear the echo of 1,000 years of history. It is a song of triumph, tragedy, and enduring hope. And so, the story of the Red City concludes, leaving us with a sense of wonder. Wonder at what was and what could be again. The legacy of Teotihuacan is a gift to the future, a reminder that we are capable of greatness. Let us build wisely. The wind blows through the avenue of the dead, carrying the dust of ages, but the spirit of the city remains eternal. Farewell to the city of gods. May your mysteries continue to inspire generations yet unborn. Your story is written in the stars. The final image fades, leaving only the red glow of the sunset on the pyramid, a lasting symbol of human achievement against the odds. Teotihuacan, a name that resonates through time, a city that proved nothing is impossible when people work together. The end of our journey, but the beginning of your discovery. Go forth and explore the wonders of our shared human history. The pyramids stand tall, silent witnesses to the passage of time. They wait for the next chapter to be written. And so the curtain falls on the classical period of Teotihuacan. But the legend lives on, vibrant and red as the day it was painted. We leave the valley with a deeper appreciation for the ingenuity of our ancestors. Their legacy is our inheritance. The city of gods has spoken, and its message is clear. Unity creates wonders that outlast